Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama.
The following is Srila Prabhupada Katha given by His Holiness H.H.Jayapataka Swami Maharaj on December 23rd, 2014 in New Delhi in India.
Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishaya Bhutale Srimate Swami Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschapya Deshakadi
Shri Krishna Chaitanya Avadhanam
Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Shivasati Gaura Bhakta Vrinda
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare
Hare Hare Mangalam Yatri Bhat Muhammad Sri Saram Mahamananam Sri Chaitanya Sram Hayom Hayom Tatsat.
Guru Maharaj, the first question. As we know that now in Mayapur, Chandrodaya Mandir, we have a lot of departments, more than 36. In the 1970s, how was your Divine Grace managing the whole project? How many departments were under your Divine Grace's supervision, like the security department, kitchen department, taking care of guests, taking care of deities? And how did this concept of departments come into Mayapur?
We had divisions and departments.
We had divisions and departments.
A division was somewhat autonomous.
A division was somewhat autonomous.
It had their own manpower.
It had its own manpower,
Its own finance.
its own finance.
But they are supervised by the co-directors and the Mayapur administration.
But they were supervised by the co-directors and the Mayapur Administration Council.
So that's why Prabhupada, he asked who is responsible for the leaky pipe?
That's why Prabhupada asked, who's responsible for the leaky pipe?
Everyone pointed to me.
And everyone was pointing to me.
Prabhupada replied,
And Prabhupada replied,
he is responsible for everything.
no, he's responsible for everything.
But there are devotees
But there are
who
devotees
are responsible
who are responsible
for the individual services.
for the individual services.
So who is responsible for pipes?
So who's responsible for pipes?
So this idea of departments
So this idea of departments
came from Prabhupada.
came from Prabhupada
Because he wanted each area
because he wanted each area
to be seen by someone.
to be overseen by someone.
So like, say you had a Pujari division,
So say you had a Pujari division
and they had many departments:
and they had many departments: cooking,
sewing didi cloth,
sewing didi cloth,
storing didi cloth,
sewing didi cloth,
storing it.
storing it.
There was someone in charge of each deity.
There was someone in charge of each deity.
So they were like department heads.
So they were like department heads.
They're under the division of Pujari,
They're under the division of Pujari,
but they have the department that someone's responsible for the Narsingadev, someone's responsible for
but they had departments. So someone was responsible for Nrsingadev, someone was responsible for Radha Madhav.
so every area in Mayapur was under some division.
So every area in Mayapur was under some division.
And each division had a number of departments.
And each division had a number of departments.
So now there are more divisions and more departments.
So now there are more divisions and more departments.
Let's say that Krishi Russia was a division.
Say that
Krishi Russia
Krishi Goraksha was a department.
division.
It was a division.
And the Goshala
And the Goshala
was a number of departments.
was a number of departments.
It could also be buildings of departments which are
It could also be
buildings of departments.
grouping some departments.
Division a group of departments,
Division and then a group of departments.
and then departments.
And then departments.
So the Goshala was this group of departments,
So the Goshala was a group of departments.
and feeding the cows,
And they were feeding the cows,
giving the fodder,
feeding them the fodder,
and growing the fodder,
growing the fodder,
and milking them,
and milking them,
and seeing to their health and
their health, seeing over their health.
So there are different departments.
So there were different departments.
The sales of the cow products,
The sales of the cow product.
and after some time,
And after some time,
we found that
we
more
found that we got more
sales
sales
for the cow urine
for the cow urine
than the cow milk,
than the cow milk.
because urine was a good source of medicine.
because urine was a good source of medicine.
I would think that
I would think that
more than 38 departments now.
there are more than 38 departments now.
So that the guest house is a department, is a division.
Say that the guest house is a division,
And then each of the guest houses
and then each of the guest houses
is a cluster of departments.
is a cluster of departments.
And then you have departments for the cleaning and all the rooms,
And then you have a department for cleaning all the rooms,
department for the maintenance of the rooms,
a department for the maintenance of the rooms,
department for the reception,
a department for the reception.
like this, a number of departments for each guest house.
Like this, there would be a number of departments for each guest house.
And each guest house under the division of guest houses.
And each guest house was under the division of guest houses.
And then the kitchen of the guest house
And then the kitchen of the guest house
was also a cluster of departments.
was also a cluster of departments.
We had the purchase of the boga,
We had the purchase of the bhoga,
the cutting of the boga,
the cutting of the bhoga,
cooking of the boga,
the cooking of the bhoga,
serving of the boga,
the serving of the bhoga,
the getting of the coupons and sitting of people,
getting the coupons and sitting people,
and then the overall management.
and then overall management.
So this kitchen could be under the
So this
deity
kitchen,
worship division,
so this kitchen could be under the division of the deity worship division,
or it could be a separate division.
or it could be a separate division.
That depended on the co-directors.
That depended on the co-directors,
How much independence they wanted to give.
how much independence they wanted to give,
How much freedom to do the service.
how much freedom they wanted to give to do the service.
So this started with Prabhupada,
So this started with Prabhupada,
and he wanted the co-directors
that he wanted the co-directors
to not be personally in charge of any department
to not be personally in charge of any department
or any division,
or any division,
but to see that all divisions and all departments
but to see that all the divisions and all departments
function locally
function properly
and cooperate with each other.
and cooperate with each other. But the second question is about Sankarshan Prabhu, who is a disciple of Srila Prabhupada from Godrumadweep. We heard that Sankarshan Prabhu is one of Srila Prabhupada's family relatives. How is he helping you in Kolkata and Mayapur Dham? How did Srila Prabhupada engage him in service under you?
As Srila Prabhupada had written
You see,
a number of letters
Srila Prabhupada had written a number of letters
to Sankarshan Das
to Sankarshan Das
to reserve and get his birthplace.
to reserve and get his birthplace.
His birthplace
His birthplace
was somewhere in South Calcutta,
was somewhere in South Calcutta,
and it was a very luxurious place at one time.
and it was a very luxurious place at one time.
But since then, it's
But since then,
been possessed by a number of land grabbers.
it's been possessed by a number of land grabbers.
So one of the things that Sankarshan did was
So one of the things Sankarshan did was
keep reminding us of the birthplace of Srila Prabhupada.
keep reminding us of the birthplace of Srila Prabhupada.
He had some land nearby,
He had some land nearby,
and he also gave that.
and he also gave that.
And then he married Rajimata,
And then he married Sachimata,
who was also a disciple of Srila Prabhupada.
who was also a disciple of Srila Prabhupada.
And they have since taken charge of the Arogya Ashram,
And they have since taken charge of the Arogya Ashram.
and they give some medical help
And they give some medical help
to the Swarup and Vasis.
to the Swarupganj Vasis.
And but he was often go. He was like a nephew
But he was like a nephew
of Srila,
of Srila Prabhupada.
but he was initiated by Prabhupada,
He was initiated by Srila Prabhupada,
as was his sister,
as was his sister,
Jalatala.
Jalatala.
And so he would go in and take instructions like any other disciple.
So he would go in and take instructions like any other disciple.
But he was very close to Srila Prabhupada.
But he was very close to Srila Prabhupada.
But he kept the protocol
But he kept the protocol
as a disciple of Srila Prabhupada.
as a disciple of Srila Prabhupada.
He's been collecting life member donations,
He had been collecting life member donations,
and he's now a bit old for that.
and a bit.
He's now a bit old for that.
Now he's a bit old for that.
But by his efforts, the Arogya Ashram
By his efforts, the Arogya Ashram
has been kept going
have been kept going
for a long time.
for a long time. Third question is, in the main gate, we see a bell which rings every 1 hour. There is also a similar bell in Vrindavan. Has Prabhupada given any specific instructions on this?
So has indicated that
So Prabhupada has indicated that
we should ring the bell every hour,
we should ring the bell every hour,
and that this would be a way to keep track of the time.
and then this would be a way to keep track of the time.
In the morning, he would have
In the morning, he would have
a Chennai playing.
the Shehnai playing.
That was switched over to the Samadhi Mandir.
That was switched over to the Samadhi Mandir.
But the bell
But the bell
is still rung on the gate.
is still rung at the gate. So, how were the devotees taking care of the security of Mayapur Chandrodaya Mandir? Or were there some local Dhamvasis who would help in guarding?
Initially, there were all devotees,
Initially, they were all devotees.
and Lotus Building,
In the Lotus building,
one devotee was moving about with his flashlight,
one devotee was moving about with his flashlight.
and this to make sure that no one would come up.
Just to make sure that no one would come up.
And he felt
But he felt
that there was someone there.
He felt that there was someone there.
Someone watching him.
Someone watching him.
Someone from a hidden place.
Someone from a hidden place.
Who was watching?
Who was
there? Who was there?
Who was there?
Who was that?
Who was that?
He was frightened.
He was frightened.
Didn't know what to think.
He didn't know what to
What was
think.
that?
Who is that?
What was it?
Who is that?
What was it?
Who was it?
Didn't see anyone.
He didn't see anyone.
Flashed his light
Then he flashed his light
under the steps.
under the steps.
And there were 12 dogs.
And it was Prabhupada.
He stood up
He stood up
and walked out.
and walked out
And I was just checking on you.
and said, I was just checking on you.
That was so powerful.
That was Srila Prabhupada.
After some time,
After some time,
we got some guards,
we got some guards,
some locals and also some Nepalis.
some locals and also some Nepali.
The locals,
The locals,
when there was a dacoit attack,
when there was a dacoit attack,
they ran.
they ran.
But the Nepali, at least, they raised the alarm.
But the Nepali at least raised the alarm.
And Bhakti Raghav Maharaj,
And Bhakti Raghav Maharaj,
although he was crippled in the right leg,
although he was crippled in the right leg,
he went out and tried to stop them
he went out and tried to stop them
from taking Radharani.
from taking Radharani.
They threw a bomb on his leg,
They threw a bomb on his leg.
blew off his leg,
And it blew off his leg.
and then there was a guard that was hiding in the toilet.
And then there was a guard. He was hiding in the toilet.
And then, I think Pankaj Jangri, he got the gun from the guard.
I think Pankajangri, he got the gun from the guard.
And he started shooting.
And he started shooting.
So then the guys started running.
So then the dacoits started running.
And I guess one time, the guy, he was apprehended.
One time, a dacoit was apprehended.
He was wounded,
He was wounded.
and he gave a dying confession.
And we gave him dying compassion.
He gave a dying confession.
Oh, he gave a dying confession.
Which village he came from? Who was his Dacoity gang's leader?
Who was his? Which village he came from? Who was his dacoit leader?
And there are a couple of, they had a boat
And they had a boat
that they ran to and they took off.
that they ran to and took off.
But 2 or 3 of them were wounded,
But 2 or 3 of them were wounded.
so they got partway across the field.
So they got
Partway across the field.
partway across the field.
And the police then found them with their dogs,
And the police then found them with their dogs.
and so arrested them.
And so arrested them.
Now, since then,
Since then,
the police have made a camp
the police have made a camp
on land,
on the land.
and we have more guards.
And we have more guards.
But also, we should have some devotees who are willing to
But also we should have some devotees who are willing to
take risks,
take risks.
because the guards,
Because the guards,
some are dependable, some not.
some are dependable and some are not. So during Srila Prabhupada's stay in Mayapur, did dacoits attack anytime? And did Srila Prabhupada give your divine grace handguns in Mayapur to protect the temple from dacoits.
Likewise, attack when Prabhupada was present at the other house.
Dacoits attacked when Srila Prabhupada was present at some other house.
And you could hear the bomb dropping and shooting.
And we could hear the bomb dropping and the gun shooting.
So it was definitely a tension
So it was definitely tension
because we didn't know where the dacoits would strike next.
because we didn't know where the dacoits would strike next.
The West Bengal government gave a license
The West Bengal government gave a license
for some shotguns,
for some shotguns.
and some of the guards were retired military, so they had their guns.
And some of the guards were retired military, so they had their guns.
They didn't have that presence.
But during Prabhupada's
They
presence,
didn't attack Mayapur temple.
they didn't attack Mayapur temple.
They attacked before and after.
They attacked before and after.
Twice during Prabhupada's presence on the planet.
Twice during Prabhupada's presence on the planet. Guru Maharaj, what are the services that Shri Shri Radha Madhav were receiving in the 70s? Did they have the celebration of Jhulan Yatra, boat festival, etc.?
I think they had Dulan Jadra,
I think they had Jhulan Yatra,
but I don't think they had boat festival
but I don't think they had boat festival
until we had pond built.
until we had a pond built.
And that was just before late 70s when Prabhupada's presence.
And that was during the late 70s during Prabhupada's presence.
So, otherwise they were receiving the regular bath, pujas,
Otherwise, they were receiving their regular bath, pujas,
and most of the festivals.
and most of the festivals. Guru Maharaj, we heard that you had only one bicycle in the early days in Mayapur. How did you get that bicycle, and who all would use that cycle?
I bought the bicycle at the bicycle shop,
I bought the bicycle at the bicycle shop,
and Indian bicycles didn't have any gears. In those days at least.
In India, those bicycles didn't have gears, in those days at least.
There's only one gear,
There was only one gear,
forward.
forward.
And I don't know if anyone else used it.
I don't know if anyone else used it.
Probably they did,
Probably they did,
but I was regularly using it
but I was regularly using it
until we got a vehicle.
until we got a vehicle.
So sometimes
So sometimes
I would go by Sukhans,
I'd go by Swarupganj,
and that would take about half hour to 45 minutes.
and that would take about a half hour to 45 minutes.
Sometimes I'll go in the back by Sonmega and
Sometimes I'd go in the back towards Sonadanga,
the place that the cars go now.
and the place that
The cars go now
the cars go now,
to the north.
to the north.
That would take an hour and a quarter to reach
And that would take an hour and a quarter to reach
Krishna.
Krishnanagar. Since in the 70s, there were not enough medical facilities in Mayapur, how did the devotees manage to get their medical needs met?
Mainly they were healthy,
Mainly they were healthy.
young, healthy.
They were young and healthy.
Uh, when some devotees got injured by the attack of the dacoits,
When some devotees got injured by the attack of the dacoits,
I went to the district hospital
I went to the district hospital
where the devotees were taken care of.
where the devotees were being taken care of.
And they tied two beds together
And they would tie 2 beds together
so that they could put 3 people on it.
so that they could put 3 people on there.
And one of the devotees
And one of the devotees
was bleeding,
was bleeding,
and under the bed
and under the bed
there was a dog
there was a dog
licking the blood.
was licking the licking the blood.
It was definitely a culture shock.
That was a culture shock.
We didn't expect such facility in the district hospital.
We didn't expect such a facility in the district hospital.
But somehow, if we could, we would take them then to Calcutta.
But somehow, if we could, we would take them to Calcutta.
Otherwise,
But otherwise,
first stop was at the district hospital.
the first stop was at the district hospital.
If someone had a sickness
If someone had a sickness
which didn't require hospitalization,
which didn't require hospitalization,
then from Navadip we'd have a doctor come
then from Navadvip we'd have a doctor come,
and he would see the devotees
and he would see the devotees
and prescribe
and prescribe
some medicine.
some medicine.
I
I remember
remember one doctor came,
there was one doctor who came,
an MBBS physician,
MBBS physician,
but there was a big person
but there was a big person
because there are not so many doctors.
because there are not so many doctors.
So at first he thought I had malaria
So at first he thought I had malaria
because every other day I had intermittent fever.
because every other day I had an intermittent fever.
And then he took a urine sample
But then he took a urine sample
and saw pus cells in the pathology report.
and saw pus cells in the pathology report.
Then he figured out
Then he figured out
I had a UTI,
I had a UTI,
a urine tract infection.
a urinary tract infection.
Then he gave me the appropriate medicine for that.
And then he gave me the appropriate medicines for that.
So like this, we would avail of the local medical facilities.
So like this, we would avail the local medical facilities.
Now we have a small hospital
Now we have a small hospital
and several doctors,
and 7 doctors.
but also our number of devotees has increased.
But also the number of devotees has increased.
So we need more devotees, more doctors.
So we need more devotees, more doctors. Next question is, during any of Srila Prabhupada's visits to Mayapur, did a storm hit? And what was Srila Prabhupada's comment on that?
Close the windows.
Close the windows.
in the month of in the Hardcore Purnima, it was common to have windstorms.
In the month of Gaur Purnima, it was common to have windstorms.
It started and continue on for a month or two.
It was dark and would continue on
It
for a
start then and continue on for a month or two.
It would start and then continue on for a month or two.
Not that every day, some days.
Not every day, but some days.
It's called Vaisakis.
That would be called
Called Vaisakis.
Kal Vaishakhi.
And it has gale force winds.
And you'll have these gale force winds.
So if you didn't have the windows shut and locked,
So you would have to have the windows shut and locked.
otherwise the wind would blow the window
Otherwise the wind would blow the windows
and the glass would break,
and the glass would break,
scatter over the wall.
scatter all over the wall. Or
And sometimes the outside
sometimes the outside
was also dangerous.
was also dangerous.
Sometimes it picked up a sheet of corrugated steel
Sometimes it picked up a sheet of corrugated steel
and fly through the air.
and it would fly through the air.
That could cut your head off if you were in the wrong place.
So that could cut your head off if it went in the wrong place.
And some of them are embedded in trees. Some of the
And some of the
steel plates
steel plates
embedded in the trees.
embedded in the trees.
So when these storms came,
So when these storms came,
they come from the northeast,
they would come from the northeast
northwest,
or northwest.
and you'd see them coming up.
And you'd see them coming up.
You'd see the dust coming first.
You could see the dust coming first.
So you had time to run and close the windows.
So you had time to run and close the windows.
And then they'd be there for 10, 15 minutes
And then they would be there for about 10, 15 minutes
and go on.
and then go on.
So I don't remember Prabhupada saying anything particular.
So I don't remember Prabhupada saying anything particular,
Except that he should prepare for the storm.
except that we should prepare for the storm.
Close the windows,
Close the windows,
lock the doors.
lock the doors.
Now in the TLVB, tested the dome
Now in the TOVP, they've tested the dome
against high winds,
against high wind,
which would be there over 100-year period.
which would be there over 100-year period.
And they say that it's able to withstand these high winds.
And they say that it's able to withstand these high winds. Before you got the electricity in Mayapur, how were you managing the dark nights? Even after getting electricity, there may have been power failures. So during these times, how was Srila Prabhupada facilitated?
In our grass hut,
In our grass hut,
we had a kerosene lamp,
we had a kerosene lamp,
and these kerosene lamps
and these kerosene lamps
all weather.
or all weather.
They are able to withstand
They're able to withstand
all kinds of winds and storms.
all kinds of winds and storms.
So we had some kerosene lamps,
So we had some kerosene lamps,
and we had some electricity.
and we had some electricity.
Sometimes there would be load shedding.
Sometimes devotees would say,
Sometimes there would be load shedding.
sometimes there would be load shedding.
And at that time, we used the kerosene lamp.
And at that time, we would use the kerosene lamp.
As soon as we finished the building,
As soon as we finished the building,
we also installed a special transformer house,
we also installed a special transformer house.
and there we installed some generators,
And there we had installed some generators,
so that even if there was load shedding,
so that even if there was load shedding,
we could have lights.
we could have light.
So that happened after a few years.
So that happened after a few years.
And I'm talking about the initial situation,
And I'm talking about the initial situation,
which was in the grass hut.
which was in the grass hut.
Once the lotus building was constructed,
Once the lotus building was constructed,
one of the first things we did was get an electrical connection.
one of the first things we did was get an electrical connection.
Since I lived on the roof of the lotus building, I could see the hailstones coming. I could see the cold Vaisakhi storms coming. Oh. And so you send out some warning that the storm was coming. Sometimes the storm came when we were camping out on the hill, and that was a real emergency, because the tents were all waterlogged, and where will we put all the devotees? And sometimes we had to bust them back, and sometimes they somehow survived and were able to keep dry. And this is the main problem with the outdoor camping, is if you get these wind and rainstorms, wind or rainstorm, then how to adjust. I'm not sure I lost it. Maybe that's it.
She asked, didn't you, Guru Maharaj, also do some minor treatments for devotees?
I located a book,
I located a book,
Home Treatment.
Home Treatment.
using the Ayurvedic system.
using the Ayurvedic system.
So for most of the stomach ailments,
So for most of the stomach ailments, indigestion,
diarrhea,
diarrhea,
etc.,
etc.,
I could cure those
I could cure those
using the home treatment.
using the home treatment.
But
In fact,
if you had a weak digestion,
if you had a weak digestion,
there was a medicine called Shangavati or something.
there was a medicine called Shagavati or something.
And it was a liquid,
And it was a liquid.
and that dropped on the floor.
And
If that dropped on the floor,
if that dropped on the floor,
it would eat into the floor.
it would eat into the floor.
It was a mild acid.
It was a mild acid.
So, one devotee,
So there was one devotee,
Devotee Nandan,
Revati Nandan
house.
Das.
He would take 2 big plates.
He would take 2 big plates.
Twice what he would already eat.
Twice then he could actually eat.
He ate 1 plate,
He'd eat 1 plate,
and he would tell me, give me that.
then he would leave that. He would tell me, give me that.
Give him a glass of that acid.
And I'd give him a glass of that acid.
He'd drink it.
He'd drink it,
Digest everything, and eat the other plate.
he'd digest everything, and then he'd take the other plate.
I didn't do that.
I didn't do that.
There was some unique medicines.
There was some unique medicine.
And because Prabhupada liked the Dhaka or Siddhalaya,
And because Prabhupada liked the Dhaka or Sudhalaya,
I would get some of those medicines.
I would get some of those medicines.
And there's one, now I have a sore throat.
So now I have a sore throat.
So at that time, or sometimes I have a sore throat,
And at that time, sometimes I would have a sore throat,
and I could hardly speak.
and I could hardly speak.
There was one medicine called Kalyana Valeha.
And there was one medicine called Kalyana Bhavaleha.
And I was really kicked out, and just at the end of my voice,
I was leading Kirtan, and just at the end of my Hare Ram, my voice would fail.
I took some Kalyana Valeha,
I took some Kalyana Leha,
my voice came back.
my voice came back.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
A good medicine to have.
So it was a good medicine to have.
So I had a whole case of home medicines,
So I had a whole case of home medicine.
but I was a pure quack.
But I was a pure quack.
I read the book,
I read the book,
and finally I gave them some treatment,
and accordingly I give them some treatment,
and it would work.
and it would work.
But I only gave it for bad stomach
But I only gave if it was a bad stomach
or throat.
or throat.
Yeah, it's something more serious, I send to the doctor.
If it was something more serious, I'd send them to the doctor. Take the cut.
Yeah, I tried to get it, but I didn't have a stock.
Tried to get it, but they didn't have a stock.
He got some, And then it disappeared from my room.
He got some and then it disappeared from my room. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare